emails 2 weeks ago to the state. It implied that I misrepresented myself. So I'd like to read those emails so that we can get this all squared away and move on to other things. I emailed Doug Beck first.
I didn't imply anything, so just so you know.
I emailed Doug Beck first, and I didn't hear from him for a couple days. So then I emailed Catherine Dufault. This is my email. Good morning. I live in Brownfield, and I am hoping to get some clarification on Dunn Memorial Park. In our last Selectmen's meeting, it was noted that you sent a letter regarding the park. The Selectmen's response to the letter was to say we opted out of the program. It would have taken up to 2 years for a new grant, so we are no longer involved. I asked for a copy of the letter. In reading it, it doesn't look like that's the case. I have a few questions that I would like to bring answers back to the select board with. Her response was, Doug Beck is out of the office till next week. My first question was, are we still bound to the original contract? Yes, the original contract states the project must be maintained in perpetuity. 2, would the state pay 50% for a new playground? The Land and Water Conservation Fund would pay for up to 50% of a new playground. 3, how long would it take the grant process? The grant application is due in June of each year. Announcements of funding are made the following spring for shovel in the ground all the following summer. 4, are we obligated to put something there equivalent to $80,000? The contract requires that the existing amenity, the playground, be maintained or replaced by something of equal and greater recreational value. Recreational value is determined by LWPF. If it cannot be maintained or replaced, to be in accordance with the contract, a new site must be purchased and developed of equal or greater recreational value and equal or greater Yellow Book appraisal value. In this case, it would not be $80,000, but the current appraisal rate. Then Doug Beck responded, and his response is the same exact email, where question 1, are we bound to the original contract? Yes, LWCF requires perpetual stewardship for public outdoor recreation. Would the state pay 50% for a new playground? No, the state currently has no outdoor recreation grant fund program to help in this area. However, the town could and should apply for another federal Land and Water Conservation Fund grant to pay up to 50% of the park renovation cost. This renovation should include replacing the old wooden playground with either a new playground with a different recreational amenity or equal or greater recreational usefulness. How long would it have taken for a grant process? The town is eligible to apply for funding in the upcoming grant cycle. June 26th deadline. If awarded, the town could be renovating Dunwood Park next summer. Are we obligated to put something there equivalent to $80,000? If you mean $80,000, not necessarily. We are concerned with the recreational usefulness of the park features, not the cost of the investment. That being said, it is more likely the case that to replace the recreational usefulness of the previous wooden playground structure with a modern manufactured equivalent, the project would cost $200,000. The town does not have much choice in this matter. The park needs to be returned to its intended outdoor recreational purpose, and with that to the standard that equal or exceeds what was created originally. Since the wooden play structure like yours, and like so many others built then around the state in the 1980s, has shown its weakness regarding the ravages of time and weather, a replacement wooden structure would not be approved. The town has already requested a termination of obsolescence. This request is at the center of the misunderstanding that they have removed themselves from the LWCF obligations. A determination of obsolescence, if granted, merely allows the town to no longer maintain the funded amenity, the playground, and would allow its removal. However, it does not remove the town from maintaining the park for public outdoor recreation. And while the playground could be removed, the town would be under the obligation to replace it with something of equal or greater recreational value. While this request has been submitted, it has not been granted. I hope this helps. I have offered to meet with a town official to provide more information and answer any questions. If this is best done in person, I can oblige that request as well. Thank you for all of your efforts on behalf of Dunn Memorial Park and the people of Brownfield. Done that. That's all I have on that.
Thank you, Tracy.
What is an overview of what you just said?
An overview of what I just said, what I've been saying all along. That we have to do something in the park.
Well, that's why I'm trying to nail down what is
My suggestion is that we hold a town meeting, get a whiteboard out, get everybody's suggestions on it, and decide where we wanna go from there, so that everybody has input on it. We don't have to apply for a grant. We could all get together, figure out a plan, fundraise, get volunteers together, and have something that everybody's happy with there.
Well, that's the point I was trying to make. We're gonna have to pay the $200,000 to put something there. Well, that hasn't been determined yet.
Yes, sir, it has. Yes, sir, it has.
Well, we don't know what we're putting there.
Well, hang on. When Doug Beck came down, he walked the grounds before he came to the building. We were in here. We didn't even know he was here, and he walked the grounds. We are not, he stated, sitting right here, that we do not have to put a $200,000 amenity on this property at all. As long as it stays within, that it's for recreational use. And his suggestions at the time were a hardscape, a circuit course, a walking path, a jogging path. Those don't cost $200,000.
Do you have any of that, Marty?
Said that he was seated right here, and I have.
It's all
people-
verbal is what I'm saying.
I'm sorry?
It's all verbal is what you're saying.
From Mr. Beck, yes.
And there's nothing in
100%.
documentation. That's what I'm getting at.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm taking them,
It's just not verbal. That's all I'm saying.
a state official, I'm taking his word for it, he was sending me copies. So, the process for a grant, again, verbally, Mr. Beck sat right here and said, the only way that we are going to be taken seriously for a grant, the grant process, is if we hire a landscape architect, fully reimbursable. And also, we can tie in with the CEBE grant. He did tie that in, that we can utilize those grant funds as well. But they cannot guarantee that there is a grant that will happen. There's never a guarantee. As she read, LWCF did not have any funds for a grant that year. So the grant process, again, you put in your request in June.
They don't do grants, it's a federal grant.
Correct, LWCF, Land Water Conservation Foundation. So you put your application in June, okay? Now that application, with that application, you have to have plans. So you've already got to pay for your architect, the landscape architect up front. You have to have the design. Then you have to submit that with your grant application. They have a 9-month review period. If there are